Three things I wish I knew before I started real estate investing. Hey gang, today I'm going to show you some secrets and some mistakes and some things that I learned over 25 years of being an entrepreneur and a real estate investor. Back in 2006, fourth quarter, when I saw that the real estate bubble was about to bust, I wanted to get into real estate investing, but I didn't know anything about real estate. My parents are refugees to America. They're illiterate. I was living in an apartment or actually a really nice loft, paying as much more than an apartment, but didn't even understand how to buy a house. But I knew this was the best time to get into the market, kind of like 2019, where we're in the very early stages of the economic collapse, the bubble of real estate 2.0. So I wanted to share some of these things, maybe four things that I wish I knew before I started in real estate. So let's get started without any further delay. Number one, stop thinking. Now, thinking is so powerful that it's a trap, that it gets you in a situation where, for example, for me, I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to fill out the contract. I didn't know how to fill out the paperwork. I didn't know how to run comps. I didn't know what the price of a house is. I didn't know how to give construction repairs, figure out what the cost of goods are. I didn't know so many things, right? I didn't know anything. So the problem is that now that I've been doing this for quite a while and I teach a lot of students, I noticed that majority of my students get in the same exact trap that I get into, which is thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. Now, thinking could be anywhere from like, I don't know how to fill out the paperwork, or I don't know how to structure a deal, or all the way to where you have a deal in front of you and you're just thinking about the deal and you're just going back and forward like analysis paralysis, as they call it in America. I probably didn't pronounce it right, okay? But you know what I mean. So the very first thing I wish I would have done is stop thinking, because I kept learning and then I kept thinking. I kept learning and I kept thinking, and I kept learning and I kept thinking. And the more I learned, the more I thought. And the more I thought, the less I took action, okay? Which now brings me to point number two, which is I wish I would have took more action instead of thinking, instead of learning, because the problem that we have in our society is that from our high school, junior high, college, the whole idea is about sitting there in a classroom and learning and learning and learning and memorizing. And then end of the day, most people will go out there and they can't even apply what they learned. So it really was nothing learned. It was just memory, okay? And so one of the problems with too much thinking is that it doesn't allow action, because the thinking prohibits, like a deer in the dark looking at the light of the car. It freezes, doesn't go anywhere. And that's one of the major problems that I was having, and the major problems that I see my students having if they think too much. Doesn't matter if they're thinking about what the price is, or if this is a good deal, or how do they fill out a contract, or they don't know how to do this, which then doesn't allow them to take action, which is point number two, which is very crucial, because in anything in life, action is the most important part. Many people think learning is the important part, but that's not true. Because if you learn all day long and you have a 4.0, or if you have a PhD, if you don't know how to take action, all that learning goes to nowhere. But if you take action and you don't know what you're doing, you make mistakes, and you change and you change and you learn why you're taking action. So in my opinion, action is more important than learning, because in action you will learn. In learning, you will never take action. Okay, and the more you learn, the more fear you will have to take action. So I think we got those 2 points taken care of. Let's go to point number three. Leads, guys, leads. In the business that I do as a real estate investor, what I call myself, I'm the pawn shop of real estate. And as a pawn shop, people need to know who I am and what I do. And so the more leads that I have, the more success I can have. If I only have one seller call me a day or a week, then my odds are very low to have success. Now, if I have 100 sellers call me a day or a week, my odds increase more. So the whole goal of in this business that I'm in, which is the pawn shop of real estate, just like any other business, if you own a moving company, you're a real estate broker, you're a massage therapist, you're a photographer, it doesn't matter, you're a construction, you need leads. You need people knocking on your door that want your services, okay? Now, this last one is very, very important and dear to my heart, which is I spend so much time learning about all these different ways of, doing deals. For example, I learned about how to buy houses at auctions. I learned about how to buy tax uh, foreclosures. I learned how to do short sales. I learned how to do loan modifications. I learned how to buy mobile homes. I learned how to buy REOs. I learned how to do all these different strategies. You can imagine apartment complexes, right? And everyone took a long time of my energy because I had to sit there and learn about it. Now, the point number 4 is now I realized that my business is motivated sellers. I didn't need to learn about REOs because I never worked with bankers and agents. I didn't have to learn about auctions because I don't like auctions. And if you want to know why, I did a video yesterday. Go take a look at that. I don't like to do short sales because it takes such a long time and it's out of my control. And the banker is the final say-so. Okay, I don't like to do loan modification because it's the same exact reason I don't like to do short sales. I don't like to do buying properties at the tax auction because the redemption rate. So all these things, it took me such a long time to learn about these things, and then I realized, shit, I don't even like this shit, man. What I do like is helping homeowners, helping people that are in trouble and saving their homes, saving their credits, and creating a win for them and creating a win for me, and be able to put, a win-win situation. I really like that. Okay, versus going to the auction or versus dealing with real estate agents or dealing with bankers. I don't like that. I don't like the formality. I like just casual and motivated home sellers is my cup of tea. And so the point number 4 is that I wish I had stopped learning and stopped thinking so much about all these different ways of real estate and just immediately just focused on single residential homes, dealing with motivated sellers from the get-go, because I started in 2006 fourth quarter, and it took me a while to learn a whole bunch of stuff that really I could get a PhD for, and I paid a lot of money for it, but I really didn't need it because my niche, what I like, was dealing with homeowners, motivated sellers. Now, last thing, let me give you a bonus. Let me put a 5 tip on there, is that education, guys. I wish I would have found the right coach in the very beginning, because what happened is I spent so much money on courses. I spent so much money on gurus, and a lot of them were shitty, right? A lot of them were shitty. They'll give me a manual. They didn't really care. They didn't have love for me, and I spent a lot of money, right? I spent a lot of money. I did learn, but none of them helped me do a deal. What helped me do deals was me getting off my ass and taking action, stop thinking and taking action, okay? And then going back to, all the years of being an entrepreneur and relying on lead generation and, talking to sellers and stuff like that and making the mistakes. Because I remember in 2007, 2008, I used to spend so much money in marketing. You wouldn't even believe it, dude. And I had leads 2 feet tall all around my office, 2 feet tall all around my office. And I looked around one day and I'm like, dude, there's so many sellers I talked to and I haven't got a deal. And that's when I realized I wasn't doing stuff right? So I learned through the mistakes of spending so much money, talking to so many sellers. And if I hadn't printed out those ninja phone scripts that you guys can download from my website, that helped me talk to sellers and qualify them. Okay, see, that's why I created a ninja phone script, because one day I realized I had spoken to thousands of sellers, right, highly motivated, and I didn't even do a deal because I was so scared. I was so thinking analysis, paralysis, so on. Okay, so guys, I hope these 4 or 5 things that I wish I knew before I started real estate can help you, because I see number 1, number 2, too much thinking, not enough action, and 3, no lead generations, killing a lot of my students. Okay, so I don't want that to happen to you. Now, if you guys want to make some money, or you want to get into real estate and you don't have a lot of money, don't worry. I have a new program called the New Flip. It teaches you the real estate business with only $100 capital. That's right. You only need $100. That's it. It teaches you the whole business of how to find sellers, lead generation. It teaches you how to take action. It teaches you how to stop thinking. It teaches you how to produce leads for free. It teaches you what motivated sellers are. It teaches you all aspects of the business with only risking $100, guys. $100. That's it. Okay. Now, what can you get in return? Well, you have a potential of getting 2x, which means you put 100, you get 200. You have a potential of getting 3x. I mean, you put 100, you get 300. You have the potential of making 7x, which is the most I ever made, which is I put $100 in and I made $700. Actually, I made $697, guys, for $100. Now, the new flip, you can do it over and over and over and build your capital while you learn the whole business of real estate without having to go to get into debt, without having to put it on your credit card, without having to go to a hard money lender. Because guys, do you want to risk $100 and learn the business and get 2, 3, 4, 5x or percentage, 500% of your return, or do you want to go and get into debt to $200,000 or $300,000 and then realize, hey, you know what? I just made a mistake and now I lost all my money. So the best bet is to get into the new flip. If you're new, learn the business, learn the whole aspect of lead generation and stop thinking, taking action, and stack them chips, man, because the new flip is like this. You can make money left and right if you're an action taker. And then once that happens, then you can go to the next level. Okay. And if you're already a real estate investor or you already have your money right and you're ready to dive in the 2019, 2020 economic crash, in my opinion, that's coming, then you might want to think about getting to my academy. My academy, I give you all my best selling courses. There's like 16, 17 of them together, all for just $67 a month. I call it unlimited academy access. You get all my best selling courses for just $67 a month. Plus you get once a month coaching meeting that we meet on a Saturday, guys. So this is amazing stuff. And if you have your money right, you're super motivated, then you might want to think about stepping your game up to my platinum coaching, which is called profit sharing. We meet every Saturday and I help you split 9 deals. We'll work together 9 deals and we'll share the profits. It doesn't matter if you're in California, New York, Austin, Houston, Kansas, Chicago, Atlanta, Georgia. It doesn't matter. I have students everywhere. And guess what? Guess what? The economy is changing, in my opinion. I'm seeing motivated sellers everywhere. So if you're interested in getting rental properties without getting a bank loan, if you're interested in finding deals that are cheap, 50% off, 60% off the fair market value, then consider joining my profit sharing if you need hand holding. If you don't need hand holding, then join the academy. And if you're brand new, then get into the new flip. It's just right now $67 for the new flip, $67 for the academy, and the profit sharing. You can just go to My Real Estate Dojo and check it out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Click the like button. Let me know what state you're from. Peace.